So the question is this: what's dormant in your life? What is dead that needs a Lazarus effect? What is that thing that seems bigger than you to the point where it's crushing your vision? You've been diagnosed with the sickness? Well, me too. I'm here to awaken your life and to ignite your visions by helping you learn how to live an elevated life and beyond your situations. I'm your host, Timothy Griffin, and you're now tuned in to the Living Beyond, the podcast. Family, what is good? We are back at it again with another episode of the Living Beyond the podcast, season 3, episode 5, and y'all been rocking with y'all boy, man. You've been rocking with me for a good minute, and I appreciate y'all. I first got to start off by saying thank you. Thank you to each and every one of my supporters, my followers. It means the world, especially all the feedback that I get from each and every episode that I drop, right? I definitely appreciate y'all. So if this is your first time to the podcast, I need you to go ahead already. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go ahead and follow me. Leave a 5-star rating and blow your boy up. You know what I'm saying? Share with your friends, your family, share on your socials. Tag me in everything that you share. And I promise you I'm going to comment on it and I'm going to respond. I appreciate all the love, all the support. This train has been moving and we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on moving forward because it's nothing but good energy over here. It's nothing but good vibes, and we're going to keep on striving, right? We're going to keep on living beyond each and everything that we need to live beyond. So listen, season 3, episode 5. If you've been with me since the beginning of the season, you know that we are taking this journey through the Living Beyond the book. Yeah, I'm an author. If this is your first time on this channel, if your first time hearing me, your boy is an author. Why don't you head on over to www.iamtimothygriffin.com and pick up my book today? Or if you want to go on Amazon and type in Living Beyond, you go see it. You go see it there. Go ahead and copy a book order today. But before we get into this great episode on today, I want y'all to hear a word from our sponsor because I don't want to stop in the middle of this episode. I want to talk, I want to flow, and that's what's going to happen. So hear a word from our sponsor right here, right now. Yeah, I'm your sponsor on today. I'm the sponsor. Listen, if you need any type of creative services for your church, right? If you need any type of creative services for yourself or your business, if you need any type of spiritual development, if you need anybody to come in and do a workshop for your organization, if you need mentorship, if you need a guide on how to live beyond, head on over to www.iamtimothygriffin.com and you can see the services that we offer there. We will be so delighted to help you out with whatever you need as long as we can help you in that area. Listen, if you're looking for any of those services, www.iamtimothygriffin.com. Go ahead and schedule your appointment today. Let's get back into this show. All right, family, we are back at it. Listen, man, it's time to jump into it. Like I said before, all this season we are dipping and dabbing into the book, right? I'm taking you along through the chapters of this book, and the fifth and final chapter of this book is very is very broad, right? It's super broad and it talks about a lot, and we're going to unpack some of that here on this episode of the Living Beyond podcast. But I want to keep y'all up to date with what's been going on with my life, right? Because y'all have known ever since the first episode of this season that I've told y'all that I've been in transition, right? Still in the midst of transition right now, but I've currently been attending Engage Culture. Shout out to Pastors Travis and Jackie Green, Forward City Church, like this entire week so far. I'm recording this on Thursday, right? This is Thursday, and I'm actually going to service tonight. But ever since Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, up until today, Engage Culture has really engaged the culture and changed my life and my perspective on a whole lot of stuff. When I say I haven't been in a revival like that in so long, like so powerful each and every night. From night one, Pastor Jerome Glenn came and talked about being stretched and being pushed. Like, whew, I can take y'all on and on about me being stretched and pushed in this season. Like, the word, if it wasn't for anybody else in the house, it definitely was for your boy. And then after Pastor Glenn came, Pastor Michael Jr., right? PMJ, like, Michael. When I say he came and he wrecked the house, like, when I say I never in my life stood up for a 45-minute to an hour long sermon a day in my life, I'm talking about after the first 2 minutes of his sermon, I was on my feet the entire time. And he came and he talked about making it on broken pieces and how this is why we have survived. Paul being bit by the snake after being shipwrecked and thrown onto shore, right? And him making it, he said, listen, he said something that was so like vital to what I am going through right now in my life. He said, when Paul was in the boat and got a visit by the angel, right? And the angel was like, listen, you going through this storm, but y'all will survive, okay? Everybody that's with you, y'all go survive. And so Paul told the captain, hey, Cap, although I told you at the beginning it's not safe for us to sail right now, because listen, I have some foresight and that you don't have right now. I know that you're an expert. I know that you've been doing this for countless of years, but listen, the God that I serve, like, I know what's happening right there in that storm. Man, listen, ain't no way in the world we can survive this if we go through it. But the captain like, man, hey, sit down. You just a prisoner. Let me transport you like I'm supposed to, right? But come to find out, man, they got caught in the eye of the storm. And in the eye of the storm, Paul, the same Paul that told him, the captain, not to sail, he walks up, he like, hey, listen, we all gonna make it. We gonna be good. We gonna survive. And then PMJ is like, yo, Paul is so like prophetic. There was a miracle inside of the miracle, because we see that everybody on the boat survived, right? Paul said, I said that we're going to survive. I never said that the boat is going to survive. And then he comes and he talks about, listen, there are some seasons in your life where God has to break your boat just to free you. Because while Paul was on the boat, he was shackled, he was chained, he was a prisoner. But when Paul stepped off the boat, because the boat started to break, because the boat started to wreck, because the boat went down, off the boat, he was free man. And so there are some seasons in your life, just like the one I'm going through right now, where God has to break the boat. Yes, your security. Yeah, your finances are secure because you're in this particular place, right? Your feelings, your emotions, they feel secure because you're in this particular relationship, right? Like, there are certain seasons in your life where God is going to break a thing, but free you. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna say it. And it feels so uncomfortable, because listen, man, this man, he gets off the broken pieces, land safely on shore on broken pieces of the boat, but he's wet, he's uncomfortable, he's in a unfamiliar territory, right? There are unfamiliar people around him, but yet he is free. And so although the boat did not make it, that God had to break a situation up, God had to free you from some things. It may feel uncomfortable, but guess what? You have your freedom, and freedom is everything. And then Bishop Joel Tubman came and he talked to us and he told us to be revived to rebuke, right? But that's not the only thing that wrecked me, man. That's not the only thing that wrecked me about the third service. Like, PT, Pastor Travis, he called an altar call, and I'm not going to get into everything about the altar call, man. If you want to see it, go watch it. It's on YouTube, on Facebook. But he called an altar call, and at that altar call, I definitely had an encounter. I definitely, like, when I say a lot of weight was lifted, not only weight, but power was added. Like, it was in the room. When I say it was in the room, it was in the room. And I say all that to say this. This is how we live beyond. This is how we live beyond. The fifth chapter of the book is entitled Live Beyond, Living Beyond, right? Like you have to go through some stuff. You have to survive some stuff to know that you're a survivor. I'm going to say that one more time because that just wrecked me. I said you have to survive some stuff to know that you are a survivor. You have to be taken through some stuff to know that God is a waymaker. You have to be sick sometimes to know that he is a healer, right? You have to be in a dark place sometimes in life to know that he is the light, right? And so we often look at our trials, our sickness, our infirmities, our tribulations, the things that we go through in life. We often have a negative perspective on them, but we never shine light and place a positive effect and a positive perspective on suffering. PMJ said it best, man. He said the church and the culture, we talk more so about being delivered, being set free, surviving, but we never talk about suffering. It was that man named Jesus that still like go to the garden and look in a cup and he's like, listen, I'm suffering right now and I really want this cup to pass from me, but nevertheless, if I have to suffer, I'll do it for your glory. How many of us are truly able to say that we will find joy in suffering for the glory of God, right? How many of us truly find joy in seeing a boat be shipwrecked, right? A boat be torn apart, our security, right? The comfortable place. How many of us can see comfort turn into uncomfort, but still find joy in the midst of it? How many of us can truly say, I thank God that did not happen. I thank God that I'm out of that situation, although that situation looked very comfortable. How many of us can say this is all a part of the plan, all a part of the story, and it adds more to the testimony for his glory? See, there is no testimony without a test, right? I told this to my people in prayer on Wednesday morning. It's crazy because after I said that Wednesday morning, Bishop Joel Tubman, he came right behind me and confirmed everything that I said to my people in prayer the same exact day. Like, there is no testimony without a test. You have to live beyond in order to share the testimony. I'm going to say it again. You have to live beyond in order to be able to share the testimony one day. And so, how many of us will continue day in and day out to say, Lord, not my will, but I need your will to be done. No matter what it look like, no matter what it feel like, it's so uncomfortable, but yeah, I'ma still trail you. I'ma still trust you. Yeah, even when you can't trace him, right? Even when you can't feel him sometimes, even when you don't know where he's at, will you still trust his will? Will you still trust his way? Will you obey to the commands, man? Listen, the things that we go through in life, they're all for a reason. They're all attached to purpose. And purpose and pain, they go hand in hand, right? And so if you find yourself in a painful situation, you find yourself wanting to be discouraged sometimes, right? Wanting to sink into depression sometimes, right? Man, listen, I need you to understand this. When you're weak, he's definitely strong. I said, when you're weak, he's definitely strong. We have to understand, like, this life that we live day in and day out is not just for ourselves, but it's for someone else that is coming up behind us that's going to ask, how in the world did we make it through? And this is why it's so important for you to find mentorship and leadership and covering, right? Because PMJ said it best. He said, listen, I can only see to the corner, but my covering, my leadership, my mentors, they can see around the corner. Yeah, I only have a one perspective, right? I only have foresight. But my covering, they have a bird's eye view. They can see the entire picture. The entire picture. This is how we grow. This is how we elevate. This is how we continue to make it to the next level day in and day out, by trusting the process. No matter what comes, no matter what goes, will you trust them? Got to be like Job, man. Like, so rooted and grounded to the point where it's like, yo, although you slaying me, we give the enemy too much credit. Way too much credit, because we understand this. It is our Creator, our Heavenly Father, that gives permission to and authority to the enemy to attack, to fight, to do these things. But we always want to blame. No. The blame game and the blaming days are over. Now it's time for you to just trust no matter what. No matter what. Right? Like, life is all about faith. It's all about faith. It's all about trust. It's all about belief. How will you handle life circumstances? How will you handle the valley-like moments? How will you steward the valley-like moments? It's all in perspective. So we have to live beyond. And in order for us to live beyond, we have to grow beyond some things. In order for us to grow beyond, we have to have faith beyond some things. That's so good. So each and every day we wake up, we have to make a conscious decision. I'm living beyond today. No matter what comes, I'm living beyond. Yeah, I know it's tough. Yeah, it feels like you in the pit of hell right now. It feels like you in the midst of the fire right now. It feels like you're going through. But one thing I've learned about fire is that it's a euphemism. It's a metaphor for praise. So when you're in the fire, when you're oh my Lord, when you're around fire, right? What will you do? See, when there's fire around, His presence is around. See, y'all don't understand. When there's fire around, okay, talk to me, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. His presence is around. Because when there are three, when there are 2 or 3 gathered in His name, He's in the midst. So there were 3, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, a bad Negro, right? In the midst of fire, in the midst of praise, then that's when Nebuchadnezzar was able to see, hey, wait a minute, there's a 4th man on site, and he surely looks like, how in the world did Nebuchadnezzar knew that he looked like the Son of Man, right? It's because the enemy that was inside of Nebuchadnezzar understands what the Son of Man looks like. He knows what the Son of Man looks like. Why? Because that's nothing but a fallen angel. Oof. I'm gonna have to talk about it later, but this is how we live beyond. This is how we grow beyond. We have to, in order for us, before we can get to the palace, we got to be in the pit. Huh, Joseph? What you say? Yeah, you anointed, man. Yeah, you favored, man. You know what I'm saying? You might have spoke prematurely, you know what I'm saying? Because you young. Yeah. What you going through right now don't look like palace. It don't smell like palace. It don't even sound like palace. Huh? You was stripped. You was thrown and sold into slavery. Whoa. Then you were placed into prison. Okay. Yeah, it don't look like it. It don't smell like it. It don't even sound like it. But will you be faithful while you're going through your pit. In the midst of the pit, in the midst of the pit, can you trust him? There's so many visionaries, right? So many dreamers, so many people that are just natural born leaders, and you have so much inside of you. But before God can release what's inside of you, you have to go through a few things, man. You got to struggle a little before you can reign. But it's all adding to the story. It's all adding to the story for his glory. To suffer with him means to reign with him. Change your perspective today. And I challenge you to continue to live beyond each and everything that you may face in your life. And I promise you, trouble don't last always, because weeping may endure for a night, but joy, it surely does come in the morning. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Living Beyond the Podcast, Season 3, Episode 5. Thank y'all so much for rocking with your boy. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, share on your Facebook, share on your Instagram, tag me in your post, and I will be sure to comment. I will be sure to show you some love. If you're listening to Apple Podcast, Spotify, now Amazon Music, Pandora, we working on it, right? Google podcasting platform. If you listen to any of those, please leave a review. Please follow. And until next time, be blessed, family.